About that. I didn't realize it dropped. I don't know how I lost OBS there, but I think I accidentally killed OBS as I was tabbing through. So let's take a look at what Cloper gave us. Sorry again about that. Sorry if you were jumping on and I didn't mean to kill the stream. So, what did we do differently? Let me take a look here. Oh, I like how it shows the faces. I'm in this mode. I don't know what I'm missing. All right, and if we, yeah, see, it's face mode. I got you. I should have been using faces. I got it. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. So I should have been using faces instead of not really worrying about the edges, right? That was my problem, Cloper. It was like a face mode, and I was using the edges, right? And then that way, the Control P, the face automatically resizes. I was hitting Control P with the edges selected rather than the face. I believe that. I believe that. Is that I mean, that's what I'm thinking is the issue here. This is very helpful. This is helpful. I guess what I don't quite get. Ah, thank you. That's what I was here. That's what I wanted, right? And we are. Wait. See this? I want to check that out. Thank you. I'm gonna write him down. I will want to check out that screen. Thank you for putting out. Well, this is like I said, this is the Pleb game development here. This is the so. Thank you for stopping by, Dragonblade. I really appreciate it. We are going to continue. We're going to do daily development, and I come up here. I'm doing a simple puzzle game. I'm a developer who's done some backend, a lot of like Big Iron, Java, C++, you know, some web development, that kind of stuff, but mostly for banks and lawyers, big Unix, Big Iron Unix environments. And I hate it. It sucks. I don't like doing it. Hey, thank you, Dragonblade. I appreciate the follow, by the way. Thank you very much. Right on. Welcome. Supporting the stream dream team here. But oh, you mean there's always? I always see there's. Yeah. I'm not a 3D artist. I'm a programmer, and I am learning the basics of the 3D editing stuff. Like again, everyone's getting kind of frustrated with me, I think, because I tend to do everything by math. Like I literally just do the math in my head, and I'll type out like I'll type it out, or I'll write programs to kind of like write little scripts to kind of do stuff automatically. But everyone's kind of expecting me to use Blender, so I'm trying to learn how to do that while we do here. So I'm very much not a 3D. Do not come here for Blender expertise. Come here for programming expertise in general, which I feel like I can provide pretty well. Blender, not so much. So, here, fix my show overlay a bit. Oh, not working. Whatever. I think I see what you were saying now. Again, it was the face mode that I had a problem with. Now, what I don't quite get, so if I have this mapping set up, right? Now, if I come here, right, and I add a texture, image or movie, right? Oh, no. Let's open up our lava tile, right? Material. Oops. Oh, select, assign. Okay, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, failing. Thank you. Good. Then you came to the right channel. This is the right channel to watch for fail right now. For 3D artist fail, you can't get better than here. And welcome. Actually, some people find it helpful, I think, to watch noobs bang their head against stuff. And Cloper is kind of an expert here, has been helping me, or certainly an expert compared to me. So wait, let me see here. See, is it still the same thing as in me, or is that one? Is it just a Blender thing that it just does it that way? Am I missing something? But what I thought we needed to do here, we created a texture, got this texture, yada yada yada. Oh, view as a render. I want that. But we must need a material. So I created one, right? Now we got to assign a texture. Wait a minute. So this is just a cube with just the geometry, no texture, right? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, look at all that displacement stuff. Okay. What can't we figure out? Oh, well, not so much figure out. What I'm trying to do, okay, so let me show you. We have our mapping here, and this is all working well and good. And we got our specular highlights, and we got our bump map working. That's all great, right? But it's just not quite wrapping right. Really, what we want to do is wrap. What we really want to do is what Cloper showed us right here. For each face, we want to map directly to the thing. Before, we did a smart unwrap, or whatever it was, like the smart UV project, and it just unwrapped this cube, but it does it in like a diagonal. So it's really only using like, it's not using the whole texture. What we wanted to do is actually use the whole texture. Since it's a seamless texture, we wanted it to be mapped to each face. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out how I would create a material from scratch that uses that texture, that maps it and puts the specular highlights and uses bump map in Blender. I know how to do it programmatically in Free.js, no problem. But figuring out Blender, this is hard. Like I've been said this a million times, Dragon Blade. Like, well, I know how to do stuff in code. I know how to write code. I know how everything that this is. I mean, I would understand the source code for Blender a lot better than I understand the interface. It's the same. It's just the way I am. I think in code. I hate GUIs. If there's any way I can avoid doing something in a GUI, I don't want to do it. But yeah, no, I didn't though. I created material. Where is the texture associated with this? Like when I was doing it in my other project, it was very different. I don't think I have an association between this material and that this material and that texture yet, do I? Shift Z? Sure. We're in edit mode. You mean object mode or this one or just this view? Is that just a rendering? So, like I said, I imported this. I got the texture here. What I don't quite is how, like, this material is just nothing, right? I want to actually put I actually want to get that image, that texture associated with it, which was kind of like automatic last time in my default project I created. Surface. Settings. I'm covering up the stuff up here because it doesn't really matter. I think you guys know what's there. It's because you're trying to do it in Cycles renders engine? I don't even, yeah, I know that there's a, well, whatever, Blender, I don't care. There's some reason I don't care. I mean, my understanding about Cycles was just that it was a new OpenGL renderer. I don't really even know why I would use Blender versus Cycles. And they look significantly different, right? So, like, if I go here to Blender route, this looks more like what I was used to. This, I don't have any idea what I'm looking at. This is a little bit better. So anyways, if I go back to the default here, right, I have the material. My texture right here. Material. So I still don't quite get how, no, for cycles, open a new window and use it for node. Oh, you have to use nodes. Okay, fair enough. Again, I don't understand why I would use nodes if I could just write OpenGL, like GLSL. Like, why do I want, what's the point of aping through a GUI and using nodes if you can just write the code that does the exact same thing? I guess I don't understand. It looks to me, I mean, like a big pile of cycle of nodes is way harder to understand and deal with than just code, isn't it? Am I missing something? I mean, that's all it is. It's just visual programming, right? I understand. I can't think of anything you could do with Node that you can't do with code. Unless I'm missing something. I could be missing. Maybe there's a whole point to this that I don't get. Yeah. See, I'm not a 3D artist. I'm a programmer, right? So to me, it's like this is way harder than just doing the math in my head. Seriously, it's way harder. But you do have to learn coding. Whether you like it or not, you are coding. You're just using a visual programming language. You're coding like it's no more harder or easier than, I mean, to me, it's like the logic aspect of it is exactly the same, whether you're connecting with nodes or just, indenting. I don't really see what the difference is, quite frankly. Um, I think shaders are easier to write. To me, right, GLSL is a lot easier to use than Blender for me. Again, I guess if you just grew up in it and but all of this, I swear to God, learning a programming language and then learning GLSL took me what, I don't know, maybe a 2 or 3 days to understand. I mean, I just had to study it for a day or two. Like, can I learn Blender in a day or two? Because if I can't, then I'm not sure why I'm doing it. Yeah, you know what I mean? GLSL only takes like, it's a pretty simple syntax, right? It's not that complicated. Once you understand the pipeline, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, geometry shaders, tessellation, stuff like that gets pretty complex on the new OpenGL 4.0 type stuff, 4.0 plus stuff, right? But I don't even think Apple supports that. But yeah, I mean, I do need to learn this stuff. Again, don't get me wrong, Dragon Blade, I do need to learn this. And that's the thing. But everyone wants to see Blender. That's the problem, is I come in here and I do this stuff by code. Everyone's like, why aren't you using Blender or Unity? Because this, So, but I do want to necessarily figure this out. I've got about 40 minutes left in my cast, so I'm going to try to make the best of this and learn as much as I can. So far, the good news is I have succeeded in doing, this is what I wanted to do today. This is what I wanted to achieve, and we've achieved it. This is just rendering in Three.js. And if you look, this is how I do the code. So we export a simple little scene with an object in it with our UVs. That was the main thing we needed to get, was to get some UVs going. Now I was trying to get the UVs right. I know in my head what they should be, but because I can figure it out. I know that this is supposed to be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, whatever it is. But I know what it's supposed to be in my head, but I don't know how to do it in Blender. So then, just to do a little review here, both for myself and anyone else, this is the code. All we do is load up the objects, and then I create my little, I'm doing this at the start. This is like where I do initialization, right? Remove the old tile, add the new one. So basically, I pull out the geometry. I create a new texture, same one. I set the repeat for 2. I set the side and top wrap to be repeating. Give it some anisotropy for it really doesn't matter for this particular application, right? Shininess, specular, bump, scale, yada, yada, yada. And then we just create a material, associate the material to the tile, copy the, wait a minute. I made a mistake. Yeah, we just don't want to do that. That was a mistake. That was what we initially tried, then we didn't remove it. Doesn't matter because we removed the tile, but we don't want that there. So then we just create a new tile and add it. We remove the old one, add the new one. So this is why I do it in code. How to do this? This is what all I'm trying to figure out. How do I do this in Blender? To me, this is stupid simple, right? It's just a simple configuration, and I don't have any of the extra configuration stuff that I like. Like Blender has this stuff in it, but it also has literally like 100 times more other stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. This to me seems about as simple stupid as it gets. But that's what I was trying to do, is figure it out and how to do that in Blender. Because again, the UVs aren't right. And let's count that actually. Let me look at the UVs. I can fix these by hand. right? What's up, buddy? Yeah. Yeah, 1, 1. Okay. I know what this is supposed to be. I know what this is supposed to be. Should be 0, 0, 1, 1. It should be the same for all faces, but I'm not going to worry about it. Now, Cloper was extremely generous and very quickly gave me a simple board like project to focus on. And I realized my problem was I wasn't in the face mode. Like I was trying to edit it here and get these to map, and I was in the wrong mode. So I want to be in face mode. This is the correct mapping now. Every face is now mapped to the image. But now, oh, I got it. So now we want to go open it. Whoop, whoa, whoa. Right? There we go. Thank you. That's what I was forgetting. Oh, no camera. That's going to be a problem. See, again, I still don't quite get what do I need all this, if I map this here and I map this texture, how is that related to the material? Like, shouldn't I have a material here rather than just a texture, an image? And I guess what's the relationship? I understand this is just where I create the UVs, right? And that has nothing to do. And then the material is just going to be the added, components on top of it, I suppose. This is purely just for setting UVs, right? But then it shouldn't matter what image you use here. That's why I'm like kind of confused. Again, why do I even use this image? And what's its relationship to the one I created over here? Where is it? Like, these two aren't related in any way, are they? Hey, Cloper, what's up? Well, all I did here, so far, all you missed was me explaining to Dragon Blade kind of a little background. And I opened up the image, and I created a texture image here. What I guess I don't understand is this obviously has no relationship to this one. I just I'll open this image. What I guess I'm trying to understand is if I create a new material, which is what I did here, how do I associate the texture within the material and get this all linked up? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because then I can actually set all of this stuff, like the stuff that we're just easily doing over here in game. This is all easily done here. How do I do all that in the GUI? And how do I assign like the texture here? Let me see here, texture. And I create the material, I give it the texture, map, bump scale. See, where's the equivalent? And I got this material, I assume I gotta. Yes, I get it. So again, the only reason you use the same texture is because if you use the wrong texture, it very well may not work. In our application, it really doesn't matter because we're literally just mapping the faces of a perfect cube to a perfect square. And we could literally use any square image here and it wouldn't matter whatsoever, right? Because the UVs would be correct. However, if that were not the case, we would just want to. But it seems to me that I don't like that because again, why give me the opportunity to mess it up? My point is why if I shouldn't there be some sort of enforcing? Shouldn't there be some sort of constraints that are preventing me from using the wrong image? Like if I'm supposed to be using one texture in a material, shouldn't it force me to automatically figure that out and force me to use it here? So I can't use the wrong texture for the wrong thing? Or is there a good reason not to do that I just don't understand? I still don't understand how to get a material here working, but all right, oh, there we go. I have a material assigned. Almost there. Almost there. Node none. Blender render. So. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a good point. Well, yeah, plus I got to add the scene. You're right. You're right. Let's just do that. Thank you, Cloper. We're going to punt. Cube faces, yeah. You're absolutely right, Cloper. Tim Towdy, there's more than one way to do it, right? Yeah, see what I was saying? Right? I knew that in my head I can do that, right? I knew that this is what I knew the UVs had to be. Awesome. Know what I mean? And it just repeats it. Actually, it's because it assumes it'll just default. You don't have to do it over and over again for every face. From a normal view, okay. One make a model that shows how a model looks from a normal view. I see. Okay. I'll take your word for that. I'll take your word for that. And I'm sure I will see the example. But this makes perfect sense. Cloper, thank you, because this is exactly what I was thinking in my... That's why when I was saying I can just do it in my head, why do I need a modeling program for this? This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. I was a little wrong in the order here. It would have been, you know, it would have looked warped the first time I tried it because I actually had the order wrong. It was going... I forgot. We go left. We go counterclockwise, right? Now it was I was going clockwise, and we want to go counterclockwise. That was my Oh, awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you. That's a really... Wait, hold on one sec. Let me pull up my chat so I can actually take a look at that. One quick sec. If you don't mind. Let's go to my... Sorry for any noise that's coming through on the desktop if it does. Awesome. No, I get this. You know, I understand the concept of the normal map and the, you know, combination of all of this together. You can get the specular high maps and the normal map and the specular highlights here along with the base texture and the UV. And this is the geometry, or this is really like more of a topology, you know, than the... Oh, yeah. Really nice topology on that face there, though. That's gorgeous. Right? I love the topology on this, I have to say. It looks a really nice model. Love to make stuff like that quality someday. I'm, like I said, I am not an artist. I'm a coder. I could really use an artist. You know, I have an artist, but he's more of a 2D artist, too. I don't have any sort of 3D artist. And I know how it works in OpenGL. I just, you know, this is actually really, really nice. So I really like the way that's done. All right. So I should be able to just do this, right? Wait a minute. That's interesting. Notice that this is like a totally different format. Right? That's okay, though. Let's just take it. Whatever it is, right? Work for the technical. Right, exactly. I understand that. Right. This only works because of the specific geometry we're working with. If we were working with any other geometry, this would be totally bogus. I get that. And it's only because we're working with a perfect cube, right? Because if we didn't, if we were using with a rectangle, it would squish it using those UVs, right? One is Cycles and one is the other Blender. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to give up. The Blender engine looks like way more complicated to me. I guess maybe probably the nodes interface and Cycles will make a lot more sense to me as a programmer, I suspect, because the interface for the material and shader and texture on that right-hand side, I can't make heads or tail of what that's supposed to be asking me, what I'm supposed to be doing, how it relates to everything else. I mean, it's just totally not intuitive to me. Yeah, thank you, Clipper. That's what I assume. Like I said, I understand what's going on. It's just I don't have any clue how this interface is supposed to be used. It doesn't make all interfaces. I mean, even like I said, even my IDE, everyone's like, why aren't you using Unity? Well, because again, I want an IDE that's as close to VI as possible. I mean, I could actually, I probably would be coding on a terminal if I had the, you know, if it wasn't just, there's some really nice stuff. If I was coding in a different language, I might be coding on a terminal with literally nothing but a terminal. I've done that for years at a time. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? I'm a weirdo like that, though. So we have faces, normals. This is very interesting. So this is just the way. Let me figure this out. Let's go back here. So we can say we set this to 1. Why does it have so many? Oh, I know why it's got all the normals. Because it's got, yeah, we keep the position in normals, and we just get rid of then we replace the UVs, right? That makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. That's what we want. Let me just check here. UVs is 1. Because we actually have like a chiclet here with beveling. For the texture to show in cycles. Yeah, I think cycles is what I'm going to want. I really do think cycles is probably what I want. Image check. Okay, this makes way more sense to me. You know? So this is what will, and then in cycles, I create this, and then how do I put this, I guess what I don't quite get is how does this, the fact that it's on surface, like how do we apply a particular UV mapping? Like how do we apply this to a particular, this will create a material, and then that material is assigned to the object, and the object has UV mapping, right? This equates to a material output. This material will have them. This will be the material. That's what I assign to the object. And then the object has UVs or doesn't have UVs, or it has vertex colors or whatever. But if it has UVs, because we've done the mapping a la the way we've done it here. And again, this image I loaded up here was just for reference. This is starting to make sense to me. You guys are incredibly helpful, by the way. I really want to say thank you so much for everyone who's come today and helped me out figure this stuff out. I know it's not necessarily the most exciting thing to watch someone who doesn't know what they're doing figure this stuff out. But I love the give and take here, and that some people come in and ask me kind of questions about programming, and I can kind of help out them. And then other times I need help on the 3D modeling, and people help me, and I really, really like it. Thank you, Cloper. So I feel like I've got a better understanding of what's going on here, and I'm going to today, after my son's got to go back to his mom, and after that, I will take some time to play around with the cycles and the node rendering stuff and see if I can, because that's going to make more sense to me. I think that's the way we want it. I can work with nodes, I think, because that's just a different type of programming. The interfaces just tell me. I understand that this is like a legacy. This was set up to work a certain way, and it probably had something to do with the way Maya was looking at the time they were rendering this, and I mean they were first building this, and yeah, I mean I can. There's probably no real rhyme or reason as to why this is set up the way this is set up. It just is the way it is, and it either makes sense to you or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you just work on it till it does. So excellent. So let's see if we can what we should be able to do is come in here and let's just do UVs born. And let me see what we had here, right? And that means it's going to use the same one over and over and over again. Yeah, item size 2, because there's XY coordinates. When you unwrap the model, right? Yeah, I get that. It's the whole unwrapping process is something that obviously is a little complex and something I need to get a handle on. The way he just showed me, let's see if this works actually. I'm kind of curious. Because now we have our UVs. Position is right. These positions look a little weird, and this all looks, the faces and normals and stuff are weird because, again, we're doing a, not a cube. But for mapping, a cube is fine. We don't need anything more complicated for the UVs because we can live with a little, just, I don't care if it projects a little bit onto the edge. Not perfectly, right? I don't know what to do. Yeah, I mean, okay, let me see. I've seen that. I see what you're saying. Let me put it up. Yes. Right, and I get that you create one big texture and then you're going to map it to a complicated thing, like right, like you can, and then you're going to fit all the little parts you want, and you can map it to wherever you want, and you're going to do all that by hand. I mean, again, doing that by math would be impossible, right? For a cube, we just don't care. Keep in mind, I'm doing a puzzle game that will mostly involve tiles and stuff, and when we render, again, we're going to do like this. Like when I actually do textures, this is what I want. I want to do rendered textures. I want to do drawn textures, right? Because I want it to look like I was doing like I was painting a 3D model, like I was painting a Warhammer figurine. That's the way you want it to look, right? Just like this. You want to put your highlights in. You want to just necessarily want to bake some of that in because it will look good, look better from more angles, right? I don't want to have to do all of this dynamic lighting. God no, right? But for a cube, we don't care. Let's see if this actually works. So let's see if this UV thing, if I just modifying the UVs, which is, I think should work. Why don't I have this anymore? Oops. I will get this. I will get this again. That's Sublime. Oh, the editor? It's Atom. It's basically just it's really kind of cool in that everything in this is just it's just a website. This is just a normal Node website. You can modify, edit all of this with HTML and CSS. Kind of sweet. I just found this is by far and away the best IDE I've found for working with Node so far. I love it. So that's what I'm. But I have Sublime Text, and I have used it. That's also a great IDE if that's what works for you. And the package system and everything is basically the same. Or is that still not wrapping quite? Is it different than it was before? Let me just check something. Tile JSON, right? Oh, what I'm looking at tile JSON. Okay, good. Just want to make sure I got the right thing there. Nope, tile. Aha, it's not right. See? Yeah, I knew my fingers know VI. I thought it was. It looked like it. It might not be, but maybe it isn't. But I thought it would look seamless to me. At least when I pulled it up in the when I had it repeating here. Like, look, where is it? Doesn't that look repeating to you? Am I missing something? That's what made me think it was repeating. I could be wrong, but maybe it's only repeating in one axis. But looks close enough for me, anyways. It might not be, but that was good enough, I thought. But the bottom line is I'm still not copying the right UVs. So first of all, let me figure out why we're not doing this. Did I just not save it? Tile, common, tile, that's right. Client. Let me just test something. I'm going to do this by hand now. My build doesn't seem to be copying that over. Oh, it's behind the chat. One moment. Oops. What's going on here? Okay. Why is that? What the heck? Like, cutting and pasting is not working for some reason right now. Cutting and pasting doesn't work this way. There you go. Great. Yeah, so that doesn't work. Oh, I caught. Oh, it's got to match the vertices. It doesn't make any. Well, that's all right. It's probably a little much to assume that would work. Quite all right. It's interesting if you notice too the way you're output. Oh, it's just because we output it a little bit differently. Wait a minute, no, I didn't. I exported it. What did I do wrong? Let's try it out. Wait, let me go back to this. Basically everything. Oh, this isn't gonna work. Why? Right. No, we are. Okay, good. Wait, it's funny that it wouldn't let me do that in edit mode before. I had to be in object mode or I couldn't export. So let me show you. Looks competing to me. Maybe just in that axis, but I think it is. All right, let's go back here and see what we got. Yeah. See, now it looks a little more like what we had before. Although interesting is it doesn't like. Why does mine have all this type freaking information? See what I'm saying? Like, why? I'm wondering why mine explicitly does that, and I'm exporting the same thing, and yours is doing it differently. I wonder what's different between the two. Anyways, let's try this. Geometries. And this is just, okay, the faces, this is just indexing, right? Vertices, that makes sense. UVs, that makes sense. Curious why the export doesn't work there. Oh, well, we've only got 15 minutes left. Okay, we've got 15 minutes left. I think I can figure out the differences here. Loper, your project is definitely very helpful. This has helped me. I need to play around with the nodes again. I think I can muck about and just edit this data to get this to work the way I want, which is fine. But honestly, we achieved our goal. Go back. No, I screwed this. Oh, whatever. I'm gonna have to make a new project because I think I broke this one. But we, I copied the data and then didn't. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Let me just get it back in a working condition here. Or working for various definitions of working. Better than nothing. This is what we tried to do. This is really all I wanted to accomplish today, honestly. We got this about 2 hours through. So the rest of the day has just been kind of experimentation and trying to understand Blender and getting a little frustrated on my end. I just got a little salty over the Blender UI. But we can do a 5-minute crash for Blender off the screen if you want. It's really hard to explain stuff with chat delay. Yeah, I know it really is impossible to do this with chat delay. And Clipper, I'd be happy to take you up on that. In fact, we're just about wrapping up here, so I'd love to take you up on that if you don't mind and you have the time. Again, it doesn't have to be now. The only thing is like I actually don't really. I have I got a few things to do here. I'll tell you what, Clipper, do you mind if I give you a ping in like a half hour to an hour, and we see if we could do a quick 5-minute crash course if that works for you? If you're not around, don't worry about it. If you are, great, worries. But I appreciate the offer. I noticed that. Thank you so much. I would like to take you up on that. Or really, if you could just point me to some tutorials that you think are good, I'd be happy. I can do it that way too. I don't want to suck up your time if it's something I can just figure out myself. Yeah. That's my only real concern. But I'm actually pretty happy. This is actually what I wanted to achieve. I know it seems like pretty trivial. If you're a 3D modeler, this might seem like really stupid, but Oh, excellent too. Again, I love it, love it, love it, love it. I've got a bunch of streamer recommendations here. Thank you. I got a bunch of greats here. Let me put that one down too. That is really helpful. That's exactly what I need. Perfect. Exactly what I need to do. I'll tell you what, a year from now, Clelner, awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dragon Blade. Again, thank you for the follow. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all your help today. Everyone today, it's been great. And Puppy is coming over saying, walk me, walk me. Mimi, you want to say hi? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? I have a huge boxer. And she's staring at me like, please walk me. Please, you haven't walked me in 4 hours. My kid's looking over at me like, you've been ignoring me for 4 hours. Awesome. Oh, that's a YouTube? Perfect. Subscribe. I will subscribe. Don't love the video. Oh, wow. Perfect. Look at that. You know, it's funny. I actually have a hard time because I got to admit, I don't tend to watch a lot. I've only recently, I am totally going back over this. So helpful. Oh my God, this is such a good day. You guys have, I mean, I really can't thank you guys enough. Not only did I achieve my objective halfway through my stream, which was great, we had new people stop in and follow, and we had all these people come and help me out figure this stuff out. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys show up and help me figure this stuff out. I would have figured it out myself, but God knows how long it would take me to do this, banging my head again. Again, I probably would have never thought of finding those tutorials. I mean, I would have probably looked around. I tend to avoid video tutorials, but that's kind of stupid, I realize, for UI. I tend to I don't really like video format that much for learning. I tend to read, but That's not great for Blender because Blender, again, it's just when you read, you're like, it's there's so much going on the screen. Just trying to write about it is really hard. So for videos, make a lot more sense for Blender. Um, Again, thank you guys so much. I think it's about 4 o'clock here. I'm gonna do. I think maybe I'm gonna do another stream tonight. By the way, we do some gaming. We've been doing RimWorld, which is an awesome game. I don't know if you guys know about RimWorld. It's alpha, but it's probably one of the most well-built alphas I've ever seen. It's kind of like a Dwarf Fortress kind of game. If you're not familiar, it's like it's a colony simulator. It's like a space colony simulator where you're dropped on a planet with nothing, essentially, with some basic resources, and you got to survive. And it's great. It's so much fun. Sculpting from reading, yeah, no, that probably would not work, would it? Trying to do sophisticated. Again, I get the principles. I got to learn the practice. That's all. I get the theory, but I got to get the applications. We will get there. In a year from now, I'll be a freaking Blender master. I know it. I have every confidence that I can learn this stuff. I'm a pretty good artist. I have a traditional classical artist background. I have a traditional programming background. So I think, I should be able to pull this together. But I am amazed. I've seen it because I've seen kids from RISD. I live in Providence, Rhode Island, right? And we have in Rhode Island School of Design, which is literally probably the best fine arts school in the country. It's generally considered the best fine arts school in the country. And these kids pump out models in like an hour. They will make a fully functional skin model, painted, everything in like an hour and a half. I'm like, what? Like that would take me a month and a half, maybe, minimum. Yeah, I know. I don't know where you're coming from, Dragon Blade. We tend to have. I don't tend to have many people in my own time zone show up. Tend to be either Europe a little earlier or West Coast later. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's 4 p.m. here. Yeah. So yeah, we tend to have people that are on like after work or before work. I think that's part of my problem is my schedule. I need to find the sweet spot. Yeah, that's what. So yeah, that's pretty. How is it already that late? Oh yeah, because the rotation of the Earth goes in that direction. I keep thinking I'm doing it late. You guys are actually later than. Wait a minute, no, you guys are earlier than me, aren't you? Yeah, because the sun rises from the east. You guys, Europe's to the east of me. Anyways, yeah. I gotta figure out time zones. That's one of the things I'm getting used to. And in fact, if you guys could give me feedback as to when, like, the regular viewers who show up, I am perfectly happy to adjust the schedule of my stuff to accommodate my regular viewers because it's more important to me that the people that are showing up and helping me are able to do so than it is for me to attract new followers necessarily. No one from the States seems to be interested in following me during the day. But that makes sense in that most people here are either at school or at work, right, while I'm doing this. So it makes actually sense to me that I tend to get people either on the far west coast of the United States or in Europe. But I really like, actually, I find the European visitors have been so great, so helpful, so wonderful. And I really can't thank you guys enough. You are the future, man. We are. You are in the future. I will figure it out. I'll get that all right. Wait a minute. Yeah. That's right. You are a future. I've been, the funny thing is that I've been doing my GMT, like on my tweets, I just realized I've been doing my GMT like 10 hours off, 5 hours the wrong direction. Yeah. I do stream in, in your morning. Let's see, what's your morning? Again, I would like to do that. Same thing for Adam. You guys seem to all be in Europe, so we'll, I realize in hindsight, I was doing the math wrong. I've been sending my GMTs 10 hours off in my tweets. Sorry, we will fix this. I apologize. I'm going to get. You know what I will do is I will write a little script, or I'll set up a little clock. I'll get a little, like a little applet. Hey, Cloper. ZBrush UI. Man, awesome. I will get a Windows machine too, so I can actually poke around with Windows-specific applications too. At some point. Where are you? Why doesn't this go? Sometimes my thing doesn't pop up, and I know why. Anyways, I'm gonna quit anyways. Come on, give me my thing. We will quit that. Well, I will note that down. The oh wait, I don't want to check any of this in just yet. So let me kill that. That was for me to get scared. Look up ZBrush UI. Houdini is, yeah. Maybe. You never know. Again, that's funny. I'll take a look at it. I really will. Again, I need to ultimately start integrating these tools, and even if I don't use them, ultimately, if I get to the point where we're going to hire a 3D modeler to work on this full time, or someone wants to jump in and work on this project full time because they're invested in it, they love it. Like, I still need to know how those tools work, right? Because even as a developer, I'm going to be part of that tool chain, and I need to know how they work. Even if I don't become a master at it, I do need to know how all these tools work, So, and we'll get into some of that. And it's not that I hate Blender. I shouldn't say that. I like Blender. I think Blender actually makes more sense to me than a lot of other stuff. I guess I could try Maya. I mean, that's what everyone at RISD, it's all Maya all the time. And like I said, I see these guys kick out fully functional, animated, fully skinned, like human models with good topology, excellent, like, from scratch painting. To them, that's like an hour to 2 hour job. I don't have any idea how someone could do that, But again, from scratch. I mean, I've watched them do it. It blows my freaking mind. I would love to get to like that level, but that's like, again, I feel like tools are not, which tool you use is not important as long as it works for you. I think the main reason that RISD uses Maya is because 99% of the big commercial studios you're going to go into, that's what they use. Same reason if you go, you learn Photoshop. You're not allowed, they will not support GIMP. They're not going to teach you GIMP. You're going to learn Photoshop, period. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, how they do it, it just kind of blows my mind. I think they're using, I assume from the skeletal, I mean, it seems to me that a human skeletal stuff, that should be fairly plug and play, right? I mean, because it's not like it's going to change too much. It's just a question of scale and getting I assume the heat map, whatever that heat map thing is, where the bending and all of that stuff, that's, again, I understand how it works and why it works and how you would do it in the math underneath or in an engine, how you would, how to implement a game engine that could support it, put it that way, but I don't know how to use it, figure that out. But you guys have been fantastic. Again, thank you for coming. My name is Debauch Sloth. This is my development stream. It's been shortened today. It's normally 10 to 5. Today, because my son was school, we're going to do a little short one today. But again, thank you so much for everyone who came by today and helped me out. I am going to try to synthesize all of this and come back tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and we'll see if I can't get some more, get acclimated in Blender and start outputting directly into the game engine from Blender with all of our stuff in there. That would be cool. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Another great. Let me pull up my. Not yet. Hold on a second, buddy. Should probably keep my freaking channel up. I don't do that. I don't like to watch the numbers. I don't like to see the numbers. I don't care. I don't want to know. You know what I mean? I'm not at the point where I feel like I should be worrying about the number of viewers I have. Oh, yeah, I see. Yep, this looks like kind of like what I see them. Very neat. All right, I'm going to pause this and look at this later, though. I like watching those fast. I do like watching those fast drawing stuff. Again, I know more about the 2D than the 3D. I'm a pretty good 3D artist. I mean 2D artist. So we're going to figure out how to translate that. Maybe actually, in fact, one of the things I want to do is, if you notice, I have my little Debauch Slot. Where is it? Like my Debauch Slot logo. Kind of sucks. I'm not really a huge fan of that. What I would like to do is do the original sketch I have into a 2D cartoon character, and then let's perhaps make a I want to make a 3D version of my 2D character once I get it, so I can kind of animate him and do some funny little overlays and stuff like that. So that might be a great way to practice some of the more advanced stuff. I figure, right? How far could it be? How bad could it be? I am a pretty good drawer. I mean, I am a pretty good you know, in terms of sketching and drawing and illustration, I mean, I think I got a pretty good hand. I wish I had some more stuff to show, but I'm gonna work on it. Like I have one of these guys. I'll show you what I got. One of these, and I've been trying to use this for 3 years. I don't know how people use these things. I think it's trash. So I don't really know how to digitize my stuff right now. You know what I mean? I really don't know how to digitize it. I don't understand how you could draw on something that you're not getting immediate visual feedback on what you're drawing. You know, I can't. It's too. I'm too much of a classically trained artist, right? But that's probably all I got. That's all I got. So that's what I'm gonna have to use for now. And it's better than nothing, I suppose. I think I can actually at least get my 2D stuff done, and then we can do like, you know, a front, side, top version of the sketches of it, and see if we can't kind of. It should be pretty easy because he's mostly just going to be, he's a sloth, right? He's going to be, you'll see, I wish I had the character. It's on my Twitter, I think. Let me see if I can find it. Mimi, go away. Let me just find it. Where is this? It's somewhere in my media, I think, right? Ah. Oh yeah, like here's like a Disney face I did, right? I can give you an idea. I mean, I'm not a terrible sketcher. I'm not bad. I'm not terrible. Like this was like a Disney type character I did, just a little sketch, you know. I think I was just trying to like do a Disney style, but I want to show you my character. Where is it? Oh no, that's not it. That was a tattoo thing. Here we go. This is a guy. This is what I want to do for my logo, right? He's the botched sloth. So I want to turn that into a tucked with duct tape. Which one? What's tucked with duct tape? Maybe. So like I said, all I can really do right now is I just take pictures and stuff. Is there another? Oh, that was a sketch. I got a free game for sketching that dinosaur. It found me. It thought I was younger than I really was. I was happy about that. I don't really have any more drawings in here, do I? Nope. That's it. All right. So that's all I got. Oh, duct tape, the tablet? No. You know what that is? That's masking tape, or you know, regular masking tape. And the reason I do that is because that's the inside. That's where the actual drawing area is. Anything outside of that doesn't actually register. So I don't understand. I have the pen around here somewhere, but I got to figure out how to use it. I just don't. The idea of looking somewhere other than when you're drawing is just. I understand that some people have done it, but I've tried like. Made attempts at it for a few days at a time, every few years, and just can't get anywhere with it. I will. We'll figure it out again. So I got to sign off here. I'm running a little bit late, and both my dog and my kid are giving me the stink eye. So again, thank you everyone who showed up today. I'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. To continue with this, and then actually we're gonna have to start getting into some game design, like the game itself. We've been kind of working on the nitty grits for a bit here, but we got to actually talk about what we're building. You know, it's one of those things. I assume I can get used to it, but. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. I feel like I just rather save up and buy like, you know, something that's gonna give me some immediate feedback, but that's gonna be a while, and I can't put this off. I really got to get the branding of my channel and all that stuff better. I don't have any backgrounds or any banners or any of that stuff that makes it look like a nice professional channel. So we will do all that. Maybe we'll get to some of that this week too. We'll do some design, game design, and some coding and some Blender. Today is supposed to be Make Amend Monday usually, but we didn't really have much to make amend because we fixed up most of the stuff that was really bugging me. So again, Dragonblade, thanks again to everyone. Cloper, Dragonblade, who am I forgetting here? Everyone who came by, a PB guy, I believe came through. Everyone who came by, thank you so much for all your help today, and I will see you in the morning, hopefully. Again, if you have it, feel free to PM me and let me know, again, if there's times that work better for you. I can tweak the schedule a bit. I've just been doing this for about 2 weeks, so we don't have a huge audience that we have to worry about. You know, so what works great for you guys is, I think I am going to try to make this very Eurocentric, whereas at night, I'll be playing games and assuming kind of more of a US audience. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to sign off. This is The bot slot signing off at 4 p.m. or so on September 14th, 2015. We hope to see you again soon, and we'll make some more progress this week and have some more fun. Take care, Cloper. Take care, Dragonblade, everyone. Thank you so much. Great seeing you.